Appreciate you joining us here today for chapel. We haven't met formally in too many times since school started, so I do want to welcome you back to Lipscomb University. And if you're new or have transferred, a special welcome. And we're glad you're part of our family here. Especially I want to thank you for coming to this chapel. You have many options, and it's just always a great time, I think, for those interested in business, those who are majoring in business, to gather here periodically with your friends and your faculty and staff. And I tell you, because we've missed you. It's always busy here, but it is quiet in the summer. That I will say. And Swing is quiet. There was a lot of noise this summer with the renovation, and so that's a good thing, and we hope to continue that. But when you're gone, and even when you're here, we do brag about you, because we're very proud of each one of you. I mean, you've made a commitment. You've made a commitment to improve yourself. You've made a commitment for education. Many of you have made a commitment to God. You've made a commitment to others and to your family, and even those you don't even know, that you reach out and help. And with that, I've asked a representative from the student body here, and so I've asked Deshaun Clark if he would have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker.
Good morning, guys. How are you? Good. I like to hear it. So this morning at breakfast, I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Darrell Freeman and to hear him share his story about how he started from the bottom in a household where neither of his parents graduated high school and often struggled to put food on the table and to keep the lights on. Even though he could have quit, he could have settled for a simple life, he didn't. He dared to go to college and to make himself a success. He was told no 100 times and was often laughed at. But starting with only hope, determination, and a dream, he went on to grow several multi-million-dollar businesses and to become a leader in his community. Mr. Freeman is an inspiration, a hero to me, because similar to him, neither of my parents graduated high school. And my father was in and out of the penitentiary, which only made things worse. Earlier today, Mr. Freeman said, when you're born with your back against the wall, all you have is the path to move forward. So like him, I'm here today at college, daring to make myself a success. We all could learn from a gentleman like Mr. Freeman, who has overcome poverty to become the prominent business and community leader that he is today. So please help me in welcoming gentleman, entrepreneur, hero, Mr. Darrell Freeman.
Man. Woo. Wow. Man, you kind of raised a few hairs on my arms and my neck. Thank you for that awesome introduction. You never know how first, you never know a person's situation. I just met this young man this morning, and I didn't know that my story would speak to him the way that it did and to inspire him the way that it did. And I appreciate you for sharing that story. We all have gifts to give, regardless of where we're from, regardless of our parents' situation, regardless of our neighborhood situation, regardless of what city, what state, what part of the world that we're born in. We all have gifts to give. I've been, as you said, I'm an entrepreneur. I came to Nashville about 25 years ago with a couple $1,000s in savings and a bunch of credit cards. And neither my parents went to college. Neither of my parents graduated from high school. But I've always known all along that there was a seed of success planted inside of me, Hope. There's a seed for success that God has planted in each of you. And so the fact that I grew up in poverty, the fact that every now and then our lights got turned off, the fact that every now and then our water was cut off, the fact that every now and then we were threatened to have to be kicked out of our apartment and our house when we finally got one, the fact that all those things happened, there was still a seed for success inside of me. And so my job as a human being, my job was to nurture and protect that seed so that I could become the success that God wanted me to become. Not just for Darrell Freeman, but for the people in my community, for the people in my family, for the people that needed to be inspired, because my story is very similar to a lot of people's stories. You may not have had two parents who didn't graduate from high school, but you had your own trials and tribulations. And I'm here this morning to let you know that you can overcome those in your life. You can overcome trials and tribulations. Now, this is business day, and so they invited me here to talk about business. I started my first company in the office the size of a closet with $2,000 in savings and a bunch of credit cards that belonged to my wife. How do I know that the office was the size of a closet? I went back to visit the office 3 years ago, and they had turned it into a closet. So I know it's the size of a closet. But I want to talk to you about just 3 or 4 principles this morning. And one is determination. So when I opened that office the size of a closet with $2,000 in savings. I was determined to be successful. My dad worked in a foundry. My mom was a maid. I was determined to be successful. I was determined to escape poverty. And I had gone to MTSU and graduated, and I got to MTSU by mistake, but that's a long story to tell. But I got to MTSU by mistake. I graduated with a 2.0 something. My GPA was so low that I had to wait to get my calculus grade calculated in to figure out if my GPA was going to be above a 2 so that I could graduate. And I knew that when I called Dr. Boss right before graduation, who was my calculus teacher, and when he started the conversation on the phone, Hope just said, "We had a curve." Y'all got that. When he said we had a curve, I knew that I had made a D in calculus and I was going to be able to walk across the stage. But the point is this: you can start at the bottom and make your way to the top. So I had a bunch of odds against me. But in that office, I called about 100 people a day. And mind you, again, $2,000 in savings and a bunch of credit cards. It's not a lot to start a business with. But there's a seed for success in me that was not going to be denied. There was a seed for success in me that I was going to become a successful business person. I was going to become a successful business person. So the first principle that I had to employ was I had to be determined. I had to be determined to see through all the obstacles. Calling 100 people a day, most of them saying no, no, no. And then every now and then I would get a yes. Every now and then I would get a yes. So that business grew from one person in 1991 to about 350 people today, from little to no revenue in 1991 to about $40 million in revenue today. Determination. The seed for success that's inside of you can grow to a mighty oak, but you've got to be determined to make it grow into a mighty oak. You've got to be determined to make it grow into a mighty oak. Every day, if you're pursuing a vision that's worthwhile, you're going to be told no every day, but it's going to be your determination that's going to help you overcome any obstacles in your way. You must be determined to reach your goal. So at Zycron, I called people every day. I knocked on doors every day. I went to banks often and they told me no, but I like no's. I'm married to a woman that told me no the first time. There's some folks in this room that heard that story already, but I'm married to a woman that told me no. No's are good things. No's are good things. Number one, it means you're still asking. And as a friend of mine this morning told me that no means you're getting close to a yes. Determination helps you to overcome the no's. So I grew that business and became a multimillionaire. In my family, the first. And in the entire Freeman line, generation to generation, a first. A first. A millionaire, multimillionaire, not just for the sake of becoming a multimillionaire, for the sake of being in a position to help those who are less fortunate than me. I wanted to be successful, not for the fancy cars or the big house. Mind you, when you're in your 20s and your early 30s, those things matter. But for the purpose of being in a position to help people. And if you go back and look at an article that I was in 1999 or 1998, it says, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to establish a foundation that will give money to people who are less fortunate than I am. So over the years, having some success via my determination, I established a foundation. I've made numerous donations to various charities over the years, including a $100,000 gift to my alma mater, MTSU. Success, the determination to become successful was not for me. And I think that's what God intends for all of us. He wants all of us to be success. That's why he put the seed for success in you. But it's not, the success is not about you, though. It's about the folks that are around you. It's about inspiring others to be the best that they can be. Because when you walk in this path through life, you're going to have some up and down days. And it's the people that are around you that's going to inspire you to be better. So continue on your path to success. Make sure that you are determined. And along the way, make sure you keep your principles about yourself. When I was growing up poor, we didn't have a lot of things in life, but one thing my dad had was integrity. Integrity. Determination, and if you're going to be successful in life, you got to have integrity. That's a principle that has been often lost in corporate America. If you go back and look at Enron, WorldCom, and a host of other organizations such as that, they needed to come to a class at Liscum on integrity. They would still be in business today. So don't, in your pursuit of becoming successful, in your pursuit of becoming wealthy, not for the sake of being wealthy, but in your pursuit of doing those things, don't lose what's you. Don't lose your integrity. Do not lose your integrity. So the first company I started with, it's called Zycron. Today it does about $40 million in revenue. Mind you, this is a kid whose mom was a maid. Builds a company. The second company I helped start is called Reliant Bank, down in Brentwood, Tennessee. We currently have about 7 branches, about $750 million in assets. Now, I helped start Reliant Bank. Mind you, when I first started Zycron, I was getting laughed out of the bank. And so the point of that is, you have no clue of what you can be. You don't know how good you can be. The sky is not the limit for you. Second company was Reliant Bank. The third company I helped start was a company called Pinnacle Construction Partners, still in business today, doing well, just won a major project downtown. All of that from a young man whose parents never graduated from high school. Fourth company, I'm lead director for a company called American Addiction Centers, which is a publicly traded company. We took it public this past October. Who would ever thought that a kid from the ghetto would be in New York at the New York Stock Exchange standing up there ringing the New York Stock Exchange bell. You don't know what God has planned for you, but you must work it. You must work hard. You must work hard. You must be determined. You must have integrity. And then the last principle that I want to talk to you about is being selfless, being willing to give of yourself, of your resources, and of your time. What I do every day at Zycron, what I do in terms of helping build value at Reliant Bank and Pinnacle and DC Partners and American Addiction Centers, what I do every day to help build value in those companies has very little to do with me. It has everything to do with helping me get in a position to help others. Helping me get in a position to help others. It does not do us any good to become extremely successful, to become extremely wealthy or rich, or whatever word you want to call it, and not be willing to share your success, to share your wealth. If it's not worth sharing, it's not worth having. If it's not worth sharing, it's not worth having. I love creating value and creating wealth. I love that. I love making money, but not for the sake of just making money. I love almost as equally, or maybe even more, when I write the check to a charity that's going to help to change the life of an individual. A couple of weeks ago, I donated 100 computers to a poor high school in Chattanooga that didn't have any computers in the classroom. Didn't have any computers in the classroom. And so, again, the point is, be determined to make your seed become a mighty oak. Maintain your integrity, and make sure that you're a giver. Make sure that you are a giver. We're all individuals. We're not individual islands. We're here to help each other, and we're here to give. And what's riding on your success is, who are you going to be able to help? Who are you going to be able to inspire? That's why you must work hard, because there's somebody that needs you. And if you're not in a position, it's going to be difficult for you to help them. So that's what I have to say today. Thank you for coming out for Business Day. Thank you for allowing me to share a few words with you. There's a tremendous amount of potential in this room. You all have a chance to run the world, to be the next Secretary of State, the next president. All of that is in this room, and you all have a great opportunity ahead of you. Thank you for having me.
I've asked Deshaun to help.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, Darrell. We've kept him busy today. He spoke at a business breakfast this morning with some of you and business leaders in the community. Spoke to our entrepreneurship class in here, and now gracious to do our chapel. We're still not letting him off the hook, because I've asked him to get together for our faculty here in a few minutes. But we want to officially now make you a hero of business. You have been for some time, but this makes it official. He asked, when I asked him to do this, he actually said, "Will you change the name?" He said, "This is just it's not
too
right."
much.
He said it's too much, and if I talk too long right now, he'll make me sit down. But we'll want to present this to you, and I want to ask Deshaun if he'll do me the favor to present our hero of business trophy.
Thank you, sir. And what a great introduction. Thank you very much. You're going to do great things, man. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
If I can, I'll conclude us in prayer. And again, thank you. Hang around afterwards. Let's get to know each other. There is some food out there. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are just so blessed today. There's just so much good that you give us, and we just need to take time to count those blessings. So thankful for you bringing Darrell to us. Just so thankful for how much you've blessed him and his success. We're so thankful for the success of his businesses. and all those hundreds that he's been able to employ and to help and allow those people to reach their goals. And we're especially appreciative that his example, that with his success, his burning desire to help others. And it's such a role model, and we are so thankful for that and the example that he has set for each one of us here. I also ask your prayer in each student here. I've asked Deshaun to represent the class and ask your blessing on him and each one here. Everyone here has a struggle. Everyone here at times has a thought to quit. And just like Darrell, now there's the example for them to press on. We ask you to continue to bless them, and that each student here will reach their dreams and that they will be able to serve you and serve others. I ask your prayer in each faculty and staff here, their love for students, their love for you, and the acceptance of this mission so we can make a difference. And this we pray in your Son's name. Amen.